Welcome back, everyone. We officially have our top 8 that you can see over there for Fright Night number 10. Now, I want to take a look at some of the games, and we're going to follow Shadowforce through their Swiss rounds and see what we can learn from our rank number 1 player after all of the Swiss rounds. Now, before we get into everything, I, of course, have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me in-game coffee for producing Phobies content, and they're providing the prizes for Fright Night number 10. So just wanted to let you know as we get into everything. But speaking as such, let's get into it. So this is round 2, Shadowforce, Phobies. Getting back to the game, we'll see what Shadowforce does here. I believe the opener was identical. Nope, slightly different opener. For anybody watching this later on YouTube, we are watching these out of order. We started with round 5. We're working back to round 1 because round 1 had some very interesting plays in it, so I was saving that one for last. Although you probably already saw round 1. So notably, luomonero, this is a new person both to Fright Night, and I don't think we've seen any of their gameplay breakdowns up to this point, so definitely a new person here. We're getting the early setup from Shadowforce. As mentioned in the other videos for this, assuming that I pulled them all for this, I'm glad that Shadowforce has been abusing Boss Gonzo. Try and showcase that, yeah, maybe something needs to be done. It's weird for me because the first 2 bounce patches feel like easy to do for the devs, and after that it's like they just don't want to do it anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if the data causes that to happen. So, for example, if, like when Beauty was ridiculous, it could be Beauty had like an 80% win rate or something. And currently, the egregious Phobies just don't. Like, that wouldn't surprise me. Now, win rate is not a great way to determine things. Win rate is actually it's not bad. It's a metric, but it's not a good metric. Boss just putting in work here. Like, I almost feel bad, but this really feels like I don't know what the hell our orange player is supposed to do here. Even a Clinico. So what was this boss at? 900 health. There was no way for our orange player to kill this at this stage. There was no way for our orange player to kill the boss at this stage. But imagine if boss had 200 or 300 less health. Maybe more. We can just skip back up to the front. Because now this boss is up to... You get it, Innocuous. 1600 health. It's so healthy again. Not good. No bueno. Snowball does go down. I mean, this doesn't look terrible for our orange player. It doesn't look terrible. Ooh, their own Gonzo. This doesn't seem bad, chat. I mean, there's some things that are beat up, and, like, this Stabby's dead. Should be, anyway. Yep. The funny thing is no matter how many times you say, oh, they're not in a bad position, they're actually looking pretty good, they might be okay, it's like, at the end of the day, Shadowforce has Boss Gonzo on the board. It almost doesn't matter. Boss Gonzo absolutely feels like as long as you have other phobies on the board, it doesn't matter what ones they are, almost. As long as you have something on the board, you're fine. And this Smiley, I remember when I was watching this game live, the Smiley just felt too late. Yep. You're out of range of pretty much everything. I mean, you'll get 2 hits here, maybe 1 hit from this. Depends. But the Inoculus is dead, and that's basically the entire offense for our orange player. They do have 8 keys, they can put something on the board, but even if you pressure the boss, which they're not here, I don't know that I agree with that. Like, even if you pressure the boss, the Clinico is going to be live. I'll be honest, I don't know what the answer is, but I don't think it's erratic. If Smiley was going to be the answer, and I think most people at this stage should assume that Shadowforce is going to go boss. So I'm torn because I do not believe you can go preemptive Smiley. Because it's too easy for Shadowforce then to pivot into something else, if it's even a problem. Which there's an argument that it's not. No, you just, especially on a big map, just walk away from the Smiley. I think the Honey Bear response really is better. Would it have mattered here? Probably. It probably would have made a difference. Would it be enough to turn the game around? That I'm not clear on. But at this stage, I mean, as of a couple turns ago, there was nothing you could do. And that is part of the problem with trying to fight into boss, is you need to decide to fight the boss early. You can't wait, because if you wait, like this Smiley did nothing. Almost literally nothing. It might have zoned Shadowforce slightly, and that's about it. So what is the answer? It's kind of like the Master Dark game. I think the phobie choices need to be different. If it's possible to pressure. The thing is that on Pyro Abyss, you can't threaten a heart push without exposing yourself, at least not realistically. Like, you could, I guess, be on this side and then pummel the heart this way. But for the most part, you're going to be fighting through the middle. You can't push into your opponent's side of the board too much, because if you do, that boss is going to pop out, and then very quickly, and I mean, it has a warm-up, but like, it's very easy if you push to, say, this concave, to get blown out by something coming out of the vault. Yeah, Jackalope Gaming. It's tough. I think if you're going to respond Smiley, it's got to happen sooner. I think Honey Bear looked a lot better. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I'm open to suggestions, because this is pretty mean looking. This is pretty mean looking.